show. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, president of the sixth largest wine company in the United States, Treasury. Ben Dollard is here to talk to us about how you keep a wine company running, innovative, innovative, and continually moving forward. As I'm sure you all know, they just made a large investment in the Central Coast, and we look forward to hearing his thoughts on the region. Ben?
Thank you. Well, firstly, Erin, thank you for putting on this great event and for inviting me to come and speak on behalf of our company. And Sherry, I think, did an amazing job teeing up what I want to talk about. And that is what we think about all day, every day, day and night, and that's around the consumer. And so really, I want to spend just a few moments talking about how we approach that. And clearly, as Erin said, we just made a fairly large investment in Paso Robles in the past 6 months. So I want to talk about what guided us through that process. So, really, as we think about it, and we think about what Sherry just shared, what we think about how we evaluate opportunity, it is all around the consumer. And as we've seen and we heard yesterday, and we're going to hear again today, the dynamic around the consumer is changing daily. The choices that consumers have are in abundance, are significant, and oftentimes are confusing. But our job as an industry and as a category is to help engage and create experiences that are truly quite amazing. And so that's really, as I think about our role as a business, as a community, as an industry, it is all around this consumer obsession. And how do we engage and how do we tackle some of these challenges which are well documented, but that we look at it with a lens of opportunity and that our future and our best days are ahead. So that's really, I think, this unwavering commitment to how we think about the consumer. And as I think about what Erin just said around our company and our role and what we do, this is where we start and finish, and that's around the consumer. So that's what I want to chat about today and just give you a little context for how we approach that, because it really does guide all the decisions we make as an organization. As we think about our footprint as a business, and again, it talks to the investment that we've just made here in Paso Robles, but really it is about curating an experience. And we take with great seriousness the role that we play as a landowner, as a very significant landowner, not only here in California, but around the world, be it in Australia or Italy or France or New Zealand. But just the idea that we have a portfolio, we think about our portfolio in the context of where the consumer is going and how the consumer is engaging with the experiences that we create. And that really is, I think, the great opportunity that we all have ahead of us, and particularly here in our backyard when we think about inviting consumers to come and experience what we do all day, every day. So, as we think about California and the responsibility that we have, again, as a very material landowner in Napa Valley and in Paso Robles, that responsibility is not taken lightly, and it's something that we think a lot about, but it always comes back to how the consumer is behaving and engaging with our product. We think about, how to engage and when to engage and what, how the consumer is spending time with us. A lot of it is around insights. The insights we just heard from Sherry this morning. Those insights are a big guide for us as we think about how do we continue to interact and engage. And so, listening to our consumers and talking directly to them and understanding, why do they engage and what brands, resonate and why do they resonate. The quality of everything that we do, be it, how we put wine into the bottle, the sustainability story that we tell, or just how we bring innovation to the category. Again, it's all around how we think about engaging with the consumer. And technology today and tomorrow is playing an enormously big role. And again, I'll talk about that in just a moment as we think about that ongoing commitment to growing our category and to bringing more people into wine. Technology plays a really big role. I don't have an abundance of statistics, So, but this one I think just helps paint a picture. As we think about some of the headwinds that are well documented in the category right now, the fact of the matter is we're operating in a really big category. And premiumization is a trend that is continuing. So as we think about the on-ramp for consumers to come in to our category, the ability to engage with wine, it is at a big category. It's really important to all of our customers, our retail customers. It's certainly important as we engage directly, through our direct business. But importantly, the category is continuing to evolve. And that pool of opportunity continues to be really large. And that's why, as we think about wine generally as compared to beer or spirits, but as we think about the wine experience, that opportunity not only to engage the on-ramp for new consumers, but to love the consumers we have today and continuing to nurture those consumers that really do want to engage with the wine category. Those two opportunities combined, the size of the category and this opportunity to bring people in, is really, really powerful. And again, as a collective whole, we get an opportunity to tell our story. And that's exactly why a lot of the decisions that we made in coming to Paso Robles and acquiring DAOU in the last 6 months is largely by virtue of the fact where the consumer and how the consumer sees Paso Robles and all of the attributes that Paso Robles brings. And if you think about that in terms of quality, just generally the reputation around quality that is made here, the general economics of quality and value and luxury, all of these things coming together, Paso Robles really does just present an awesome opportunity as we think about the future, and that really is a lot of the drivers for us as we evaluated how we continue to engage with our consumer. And then clearly tourism plays an enormous role, because anybody who comes here takes those stories back to their family and to their friends, or across the country. We also see an opportunity to take Paso Robles, and we think about the opportunity abroad. We have a lot of great experience in some really big markets around the world when you consider Asia as an emerging opportunity, and others as well. But really, the fundamentals really do stack up really well. And that's exactly why we got really excited with regards to how we came to find DAOU. And again, it's all going to tie back to, for us, the consumer obsession. And it was really apparent as I've had the opportunity to meet with George and Daniel and the entire team at DAOU, the unwavering commitment to engage with the consumer, to talk to the consumer, to understand the consumer, to make sure that we're hearing their concerns and understanding their concerns. I think really was a very powerful opportunity. And again, engaging this next generation, this a very big population out there who are looking to talk to us and to understand what it is we do, because we are the original sustainable industry when you consider the fact that we cultivate and love the land that we operate on. And that's exactly what drew us to DAOU as we were looking at opportunities and to get to know the business and to see the way the consumer engages. So on that, I just thought I'll pause for a moment and
Paso Robles
we'll
is
hear from George and Daniel.
614,000 acres. It is twice as big as Bordeaux. What we found here, being 14 miles from the Pacific Ocean, is the perfect terroir, the perfect climate to achieve ripeness year after year while maintaining elegance in the wines.
We knew all along that the only lens we looked through is a consumer's lens. So when we made every decision we did, we would ask ourselves, will the consumer agree? It went from a passion project to a cultural phenomenon.
We found this beautiful treasure, and we have done everything that we can to unlock the potential of this incredible terroir.
So, I mean, that just gives a bit of context and a bit of background. And so what I'd like to do now is just talk about, a couple of projects that we've embarked on that really do take the insights that Sherry shared with us and bring them to life. Now, these aren't necessarily projects that have been developed more recently. It's things that have come up through the mining of insights and speaking to our consumer. And the first one relates to the idea of better for you, and it's a term that's well used in our industry as we think about the care that consumers have in terms of what they're putting into their bodies all day, every day. But also this idea that refreshment is a really important part of the experience. And so we have been doing a lot of work just to evaluate, okay, how do we think about that in terms of bringing our wine experience, but also talking directly to the consumption trends that we're seeing. And this is just one example that we've produced. It's actually out of New Zealand. But really, it's doing really well by virtue of the fact that we are seeing this desire to engage. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit crisper, but really enjoyable on a hot day. And that's exactly, targeting this wellness trend that is happening. The next example I want to share is just around our community. So as we think about how we engage in our community in a really authentic way, and as I mentioned before, the idea that wine plays such an important role in interactions as humans, when we think about having empathy and care and being as one as a family or friends or with a new community, the idea that we can connect in an authentic fashion is really, really important. Because again, as Sherry said, consumers are really interested, and they want to know their stories. They want to understand where what they're consuming is made. They want to know who's behind it, and so we've done a lot of work around our communities around the world specifically, and how we think about engaging with our communities. And so I just want to share a quick video with you that I think paints a picture of what we're doing in Australia, actually, but I think it's very applicable to how we're thinking about our communities and the role that we play.
At Squealing Pig, we've got a lot of love to give. And for us, inclusion is everything. That's why we've been supporting the LGBTQIA+ community since 2019. So, in the lead up to Sydney World Pride, we wanted to bring people together like never before. Introducing Squealing Pig's Summer of Love. We started by becoming the unofficial sponsor of love at the Australian Open, where we gave a word used in the scoring of tennis far greater meaning: love.
40 love Aisha. Love Wanya. Love him. Love them. Love all.
Ooh. And after the launch, love poured in. On AO Pride Day, we launched 9 new Pride labels, celebrating the curly tales of the subgroups from the Pride community. And through a scoreboard integration at Kia Arena, we even turned the zeros into love hearts, sharing love for all. The campaign spread from Melbourne Park through streets to bottle shops, venues and screens around the country. And then came Sydney World Pride. As an official sponsor, we took our campaign to the heartbeat of love for all and got our glitter on at the Domain Parade Party, Fair Day and the Bondi Beach Party.
So again, just an example of engaging with our community. We get a lot of feedback and we have a lot of conversations just around the values and the purpose that we bring in engaging. Again, that's just one example, just to paint a picture of how we do that, and it's really important for us as a company, but also I think as an industry, to do that with real authenticity. And that's what engagement is all about, and that's what bringing experiences is all about. So the last piece that I'd like to cover is just around the responsibility that we have as a business when we think about the engagement in our community with specifically with the land that we own. And it's very well communicated across the industry right now, and certainly as we saw before, just around the role of sustainability and what does it actually mean, and how do you unpack it, and how do you again offer real authenticity with it. And so we build it into our company purpose Sustainability is not a project for us. It's not something that we set a goal and that we say, okay, in a year's time we're going to be done. This is part of our DNA. And again, you know, we have a large footprint around the world, but we take that responsibility incredibly seriously. And I just want to give a couple of examples. A commitment to 100% renewable electricity by the end of this year as a company. And that's in every geography that we participate. You know, we think about our solar application in all of our sites, or our electric vehicles that we're adopting, you know, throughout the business. But the idea that all of our employees embrace, you know, what we're doing, and we heard before about bottle weight and the about containers, and bottle weight certainly a part of that as we think about the footprint that we leave, or sustainable packaging, or cardboard, or, you know, all of those things that play an important role in the end consumer's mind. You know, those things are very important considerations to us, to the point that we commit to our board to say these are the thresholds we're going to hit, and then beyond that, you know, we're going to dream really big. And that's exactly what we've done. So I just want to share a specific project that we've undertaken as a business that we're very proud about. And this is the Napa River up in Napa Valley. And this is our Gamble Ranch, a fairly beautiful property in Napa that we have farmed for many, many years. And we've started a restoration project here, along with the community, to re-establish the native habitat in Napa Valley. And it really does you know, bring us a great amount of joy, because we're working with the local community to re-establish this opportunity. And we're already seeing a lot of great benefits just by re-establishing that habitat along the river, because without it, the river flows really fast. Without it, we don't get the local salmon spawning, and all of these byproducts of not caring impact us on a day-to-day basis. So we, again, very proud about that opportunity that we're working on in Napa Valley. And then finally, I just really want to wrap up and come full circle with regards to, you know, how we think about our business and the collective opportunity that we have. And I use that word a lot, but I fundamentally believe it, that, you know, the way we engage with our consumers, the way we care, you know, the way that we understand what people are going through in their lives, and all of the decisions that make them want to engage with what we do. You know, the idea that everything we do is driven by our engagement with the consumer. And it's incredibly exciting. I think it's incredibly rewarding. But our task now, as we move forward, is to continue to tell our stories and continue to engage with consumers on a day-to-day basis and hear their feedback, so that we're making sure that we're presenting to them something that they need and that they love and that they want to share with their friends. So I'll close with that. Really appreciate it. Again, Erin, thanks for inviting me, and I'll look forward to any questions we may have. Thank you very much.